Is it true that to make it in football, you gotta be an egoist? A person focused only on their own needs and desires. In sports, we all know that confidence is critical, and in Blue Lock, egoism plays a central role. It isn't just confidence, it's a fierce, all-encompassing self-belief that can make you unstoppable. I'm Jerry van Wolfgang, a professional football player who's played in the Netherlands, the USA, and South Korea. And today, I want to dig into the lessons Blue Lock gives us about ego and how mastering it can help elevate our own game. Football and sports can bring pure joy, right? Especially when things are going right. And there's nothing better than winning. But when you're off your game, you can spiral into fear, doubt, even self-hate. That's why managing your ego is so important. In Blue Lock, the coach Ego Jimpachi has one goal: to push each player into discovering the strongest version of themselves, to pure, unapologetic egoism. Isagi, the main character, has to decide what kind of player he wants to be, questioning whether he should pass to support the team or take the shot himself. And the truth is, on the field, it's right, you can't just be like everybody else. But developing a healthy ego isn't about being arrogant or selfish. It's about knowing exactly who you are, owning that, and playing with complete honesty. In Blue Lock, players are challenged to face this head-on, to bring their inner monster out. This monster isn't just anger or confidence, it's that part of you that will fight for your goal with everything you've got, without fear and without anything holding you back. In Blue Lock, they depict the ego as like a monster inside of you. And if you repress it, ignore it, or try to play small, that monster lurks in the shadows, biting back at the worst times with bursts of fear, rage, and self-doubt. But if you bring that monster into the light, you own it consciously, that's when it becomes your greatest weapon. And that's where they're right. Look at Bachira. He accepts his inner monster, not just to dominate others, but to understand who he really is on the field. And that's the real lesson. Don't avoid the parts of you that drive you. Find your purpose, a reason you're willing to work for, and integrate every part of yourself, including your ego, into that pursuit. That's when the ego becomes healthy and becomes strong, when it's authentic and when it's committed to a worthy goal. And for athletes, challenges to your ego come at a rapid pace. The game forces you to confront it again and again, whether through losses, injuries, or constant competition. You know, in real life, it's easy to sink into routine, but in sports, every single play, we have to face ourselves. And that's why you need to know and trust who you are as a player. Look at Ronaldo and Mbappe. These are players who remind themselves every day, in my mind, I'm always the best. They're not necessarily saying they're the best objectively. That's what they say in my own mind. But what's important is they are reinforcing their own inner belief. And I am sure even Messi does that, even though he doesn't claim to be the best. But just like Blue Lock, true strength does come from believing in yourself, focusing on becoming better every day, rather than comparing yourself to others. You learn from others, yes, but then you can make their strengths part of your own journey, your own vision. In Blue Lock, the players reach a breakthrough or awakening when they stop fearing their ego and turn their desperation into flow state. Flow is that state where you're not second-guessing yourself, where every move is natural, authentic, and fully aligned with who you are. Where your thoughts, emotions, and focus all align to one single goal. And reaching that level is about trusting yourself deeply enough to play without any doubt, and that can only come from a strong, healthy ego. And some people say they play better when they're angry, but that's because they're finally using their emotions to fuel their game. It's a step way above apathy. That's a place you want to avoid at all costs. That's a place where dreams really go to die. But there's more. When you learn to consciously channel emotions into your game, you start accessing the full spectrum of your potential. It's about being real with yourself and respecting who you are, exactly as you are. And here's the final truth Blue Lock teaches us. Don't let the monster stay in the shadows. Put it in the light of the truth where it belongs. Because when your ego is aligned with who you are, when it's conscious and fully integrated, flow state comes naturally. And that's when you unlock the real heights of what you're capable of. So devour the ego, devour the monster, and make it a part of you. That's how you become unstoppable.